Kids Church Online.
I'm Laura.
And I'm Jimmy.
And today we're going to be talking about the Prodigal Son.
But that will be after the time of worship.
Step by step, I'm following you, Jesus. Step by step, I follow you, Lord. You're the one who guides my heart. Step by step, I will follow you more. Yeah, follow you more. Yeah, Lord, you make me stronger, so I'll keep climbing up, up, up. Lord, you never falter, so I'll keep growing in love, love, love. Step by step, I'm following you, Jesus. Step by step, I follow you, Lord. You're the one who guides my heart. Step by step, I will follow you more. Follow you more. Lord, you give me purpose everywhere I go, go, go. Lord, you truly love us. Your peace we need to know. So, step by step, I'm following you, Jesus. Step by step, I follow you, Lord. You're the one who guides my heart. Step by step, I will follow you more. Follow you more. Lord, you give me purpose everywhere I go, go, go. Lord, you truly love us. Your peace we need to know. So, step by step, I'm following you, Jesus. Step by step, I follow you, Lord. You're the one who guides my heart. Step by step, I will follow you more. Yeah, I will follow you more. Yeah, 'cause I love you, Lord.
Today we are talking about the prodigal son. Before we start, there are some words that I want us to understand. Words such as inheritance. That means something that is owned or a possession is passed on to somebody else when the owner dies. Just like me, when I pass away, all the things I have are going to be divided up amongst my children. The next word is a son. I'm sure you know what a son means, but let me just say what son means here. This is a boy or a man who is related to either or both his parents. Then you have father. Father is a man who is a parent. The next word is famine. I know I've talked about this before. A famine happens when there is scarcity, severe, serious scarcity of food. And the thing is, during a famine, people are hungry. And it's happening to so many people at the same time, and there just isn't any food to eat. The last word is prodigal. Have you heard that before? Prodigal means when you use money or your resources carelessly, extravagantly, in such a way that it shouldn't be used. So you are extravagantly reckless. Let's get into the parable. It's about 3 people, all of them connected, but today we are going to talk about 2 of them. There was a man who was quite wealthy who had 2 sons, and his younger son said to his dad, "Father, I want you to give me my share of what you own right now. I want my inheritance right now. I'm not going to wait until you die. I want it right now." So the father divided up the inheritance and gave the younger son his portion. After a short while, the younger son converted all his inheritance to money, packed up his things, and went to a far country. While there, he lived recklessly. He lived extravagantly, spending money on things that he shouldn't. Guess what? All the money ran out. Unfortunately for him, the money ran out just as a famine had started. He persuaded somebody in that country to give him a job. Jobs were really hard to come by. Do you know what he had to do? He had to look after pigs. The thing is that where he came from, they were not to have anything whatsoever to do with pigs. But here he was in a distant land looking after pigs, including feeding them. He was so hungry that he would have gladly eaten the food that the pigs were eating. But he wasn't allowed, and nobody gave him anything to eat. And then his senses came to him. He said, "Hang on, how many of his father's servants had enough food and to spare?" So there and then he decided that he was going to go back home and he was going to apologize to his father, saying, "Father, I have sinned against heaven and you, and I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Please take me on as a hired servant." So off he went home. He hadn't even gotten home, but his father sighted him from afar off. And he was so happy to see him. He ran with his arms wide open and hugged him and kissed him. And the son started to say what he had rehearsed. He said, "Father, I have sinned against heaven and you. I'm no longer worthy to even be called your son." The father didn't even wait for him to finish everything that he had to say. He said to his servants, "Bring a beautiful robe and put on him, and a ring for his fingers, and sandals for his feet, and prepare the fatted calf, because we are going to celebrate and have a party, because this my son that was dead is now alive. He's come back to life again. This my son that was lost has now been found." And they celebrated. They had a party. What do you understand by this story? Well, the prodigal son, that's us, me and you. The father, that's God. You know, we have done so many silly things, very, very silly things, things that are very difficult to forgive. And yet, God, our Father, forgives us. He welcomes us with arms wide open. Isn't God good? And that's the end of the story.
Hi everyone! I love that story that Jesus told. I think that is one of the most beautiful moments in the whole Bible when we think of that dad running to welcome his son. And I wasn't really sure how to make a craft that captured that. So instead, what I've done is made this little welcome home door to remind us that we are always welcome back to God wherever we have been, however far away we feel that our life has gone. God is going to welcome us back with love. So to make one of these, you just need a cardboard tube, a toilet roll tube, or a kitchen roll tube. the kitchen roll tube, you want to cut it down because it will be a bit long. And we'll cut along that so we've got a flat piece of card. And now you can make your door as wide as you want, but I've made mine with 5 bars across, as you can see, and they're 1.5 centimeters wide each. So I'm just going to mark in, 1.5, 3, 4.5, 6, 7.5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we are. And now that I've got those, I'm going to draw, I'm going to draw in these bars, or planks perhaps is the word, I think, maybe for the up and down bit, not bars. I think maybe bars go across the way. So we'll draw in these planks. There we are. Whoops, and we'll just cut off at the edge. Good. Now, with this spare bit, we're going to make some bars to go across the way. So I'm just going to cut 2 strips. 1, 2. I'm going to put them onto my door and just measure how long we need them to be, because at the moment they're a little bit too long for my door. There we go. We'll cut those off the right place. And then I'm going to stick those at the top and bottom of the door so that they go right across. Now, if you're using a toilet roll tube, it does have a few little markings on it. So just make sure you put glue on the side that you want to be on the inside, and you have the other side facing out the way. Oops, because this is a little bit curly, it doesn't want to stick straight down. There we are. You might need to put a weight on it, but for speed, I'm not going to do that just now. So here we have our basic door. The next thing that we want to do, as I hold it down, is make this poster. So what I've done is I've cut out a little piece of white paper, and this is a square 3 centimeters by 3 centimeters. And on it, I have written "Welcome Home," as you can see. I think that's going to stick now. Now, you could just stick that straight onto your door like this, or you might want to do a bit of decoration. This one, I realise it is a bit of a girly door. You might not want to have yours all done with pink and hearts. You could have any decorations you want. But if you do want it to look like this, what you want to do is take your little "Welcome Home" poster, and we'll put it onto some pink paper, or whatever colour you want, and all around it we're going to draw a kind of bubbly line like that. So this is going to be the backing, and I'm just using the white piece as a guide so I get the size right. So there we are, I've drawn it out, and ta-da! Just like that, I've cut it out. So we'll stick this onto here. I wonder if you've ever been away on a journey and when you've got back, somebody has made you a "Welcome Home" sign. It just feels lovely, doesn't it? And then we'll stick this onto our door. Oh dear, this really does need a bit of pressing down, doesn't it? My door doesn't want to lie flat. So there we go. And now you can see another decoration just to really share the love. I've put on this is some hearts across these 2 cross beams. So if you would like to make those, cut out a strip of paper the same colour as the background to your poster. And what we'll do is we'll fold it in half. We'll fold it in half again, and we'll fold it in half one more time. And now I'm going to draw my heart on here and cut it out, and that will give me 8 hearts, which is how many I need for my size of door. Now, obviously, because I've folded it so many times, I'm cutting through quite a lot of paper. You might find it's a bit stiff. You could always fold it fewer times and just cut out 2 separate sets rather than doing it all in one like this. But I find it's not too bad. Oops, although one of my hearts has come out a little wonky. That's okay. We can even that one up. Now, it didn't seem to cut through. Good. And so now all I'm going to do is, get some glue on these and stick them on to these cross pieces, which really, I don't want to stay on. I'm going to have to put this under a heavy book to flatten it. So we stick all our hearts on. I'll just do the top row just now. So we put our hearts on, but you'd put them on both the top and the bottom. And the last thing that our door needs is a door handle. You don't want to get to a welcome home door and find that you can't open it and get in. So if you had one, you could use one of those little split pins. You know, it's like a little brass circle and then it's got 2 legs. That would make a lovely door handle. But if you don't have one of those, you could use a button or a bead, or like me, you could just get another piece of cardboard. This is just left over from my tube. I've coloured it in brown. It's easier to colour it in before you cut it. And now I'll just cut out a door handle shape. I like a nice traditional round doorknob, but you could choose whatever shape you wanted. And we'll stick that on just slightly lower than halfway up. Make sure everybody can reach the door handle. Right, well, this door, because these cross pieces haven't stuck down very well, is still looking a little bit sort of rustic. But once it's had a good press, it will come out like this. And we'll have this lovely door. You could stick it onto your front door, or if you've just got an inside front door, or onto the door of your room, or onto the door of your living room, just somewhere to remind you every time you go in and out that God is always there to welcome you back, no matter what happens. Well, I hope you enjoyed making a little door, and I hope you enjoyed running into the arms of your loving Heavenly Father this week. And I'll see you again next week. Bye!
The prodigal son. Or should I say, the silly, selfish son. That's a way better description.
I 100% agree. How can you ask for your parents' inheritance before they even die?
And then blow it all. Incredible.
It was really serious though.
What was serious?
What happened to the son? Yes, he can just be given a robe or a ring, but he had to be given sandals, meaning things were really that bad. Either his shoes were bad or he didn't have any at all.
Yeah, it really was bad. But the dad was kind and forgiving after all the son did, and welcomed his son back with open, wide arms.
That's how God welcomes us. We were as silly and selfish as the prodigal son. God welcomes us just like that. God is great. That's it for this week.
Till next time. Bye.